Well, I checked the weather last night and this morning, and it's supposed to be cloudy, but no chance of rain all day. And you know, it's like anything on the internet, any political thing. I don't believe any of it. In fact, I'm getting to the point where I don't believe anything unless I see it, touch it, bite it, feel it. It's terrible. Anyway, the weatherman has let us down a few times, but this morning it was foggy, basically cloudy out there right now. And I wanted to get some of the clear on Pokey's job. Even if I just get the first couple of coats on today, that can be curing and drying for the next couple of days, because the weatherman is so unpredictable. And I was daydreaming about getting a ride on the FZR today. Well, you know, pipe dreams. Dreams are free. And there's always little projects I have in the shop that the next morning I come out to the shop or I look at them and I think, wow, what a difference that made. A couple hours, almost no money at all, and that's one of them. And yesterday when I got to ride the 750, it's one of the reasons I never miss a chance to ride, because you don't, in the course of 365 days a year, you don't get 356, 72, 83. I'm not sure how many days you get. I'm not sure, but it's not 365. So you always get that I get the itch anyway, and I check the weather, I check everything, but then I have to be realistic about it. I know the weatherman is not always right, and today's a perfect example. But the good news is Pokey's stuff looks like it dried up like jewelry. If I get the clear on today, boy, that'll be wonderful. And I count that as, well, just when you can take advantage of a day that's not perfect, to me, it's almost like having a free ride on a roller coaster. A free ride on the wheelbarrow or something. Anyway. So now a couple of things about the paint. The paint covered great. This paint, until you put the clear on, is flat. It almost looks like they on purpose made it flat. But I know what that does with modern paint. It leaves a little bit of a tooth so the clear gets a good bond. And I think all the bodywork on this is perfect. So the fact that we have the hardware all cleaned up, the gas cap, getting it clear on today will be one step closer to the finish line. And then what I hope will happen is if we do get a riding day, I could ride the whole day instead of half a day. Come on guys, it's time for breakfast. Hey, don't be bashful. Be like me, eat at every opportunity you get. I always think feeding the fish, feeding the birds, makes you start off the day right. In a good frame of mind to do some work. So I thought I'd share a really quick, cute story that absolutely was true yesterday. Yesterday, about 11 o'clock, I had to go to my daughter's house and drop off some stuff. And we can't be within 10 feet of each other, but she answers the door. She says, the Blue Angels are going to fly over New York City today. Come, run down to Hoboken, get a camera, get record it for posterity. So, of course, Chris and I have gone to where Chris works. And by, I can't really think of it, you know, it was 2 years ago maybe. And we went and watched the Blue Angels, and they flew over. You could throw a stone and hit them, and it was wonderful. So, and this is going to be the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds too. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So it's around 11 o'clock-ish, and I'm doing other stuff, and Karen's going, oh, work in the garden, and I'll do this and that. And I had totally forgotten that they were coming at 12 o'clock, and I wasn't wearing my watch because I was working in the garden. I was getting dirty. But what happened is I heard out in the background, and if you've ever been around the Blue Angels, this is a sound you never forget. And I hear them coming, and it's loud, it's whatever. And I'm thinking, where's the camera? Oh, what? I put the camera on charge. Because I was going to go for a ride in the afternoon. Where the hell's the camera? I run down, the camera's not by the charger. Well, this is out in the garage. By now, I hit it right over the house, because we live right near Teterboro Airport. They're right over the house, and the sound is amazing. And Karen, my neighbors are all outside with phones and taking pictures. I'm the only one on earth doesn't have a camera of the thing. So I finally run downstairs again, but in running downstairs, I forgot to shut the door, which in this house is a fate worse than death, because flies come into the house. And so I finally find the camera, and it's on the workbench. Oh, great, run outside. I can still hear them. And as I get up and turn the camera, you can't see them anymore. And the sound goes away. It was perfect timing to miss a golden opportunity, all my fault. But now the bad news is, and this is real, in Karen's case, in my case, it's really bad news. About 5 flies got into the cellar. And if you only knew how, Karen and I hate having a fly in the house. In fact, I can't watch TV if there's a fly in a room. I have to turn the lights on and go get the weapons of mass destruction and kill them. We can't stand it. At least 5 had gotten into the house. Now I realize a good lesson. I have paid, and I have a really tricky storm door, screen door that comes out of the wall that I paid a lot of money for. Well, I hadn't realized we're in summer. It's already the fly season, but it's also, it tells me the riding season can't be far away. So there's bad news. I missed the Blue Angels, but flying season, you never stop being a modeler. Flying season, riding season is coming. Riding season. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that short story. We're going to go get some clear on Pokey's parts. And even if you're dumb enough to miss the Blue Angels as they fly basically right over my house. And you know what was even more impressive? When the Ospreys were in Teterboro for the air show, and 3 of them went over the house, and I did have them on video. What an impressive sound they make. Anybody that loves aviation. And this is the clear coat that we're going to use, and we've been using this and 5-star for many years now, and with some really good results. Now I wanted to put the 5-star on this video too, because basically, well, you can get both of them at Gavin's, and I don't think they're a couple dollars difference in price, but this is the key for me under my shop conditions. Fast hardener, always fast hardener. And in case I didn't get the number of the Gavco fast hardener, but the fast hardener, here's another tip. The hardener only the hardener you keep in the refrigerator. It prolongs the life if you don't use it all up in a very short amount of time. So here are a couple of useful tips that I think anybody that's new to painting, I think Scott especially will benefit from this, putting clear coat on. You always want to have, and the way this modern paint works is, you can put the clear on as soon as it's dry. And in our case, it's about an hour since we painted it. But I always take, at the end of the day, I take the tip off the gun, leave it in a jar of acetone, just let it soak, because it's these little microscopic holes, and I can't even show them on video. There's 8 of them or 10 of them. And when they clog up, you can hold it up to the light, and you see if even 1 or 2 of them clog up, the spray gets crazy. So by having that clean every time, it just stacks the deck in your favor. Now, there's a couple of things that'll really make it good for you. I never, even from the days of modeling, you have a dedicated clear gun, and written right on here, I guess you can see it. It says clear gun. I have 8, 10, I'm going to count them without even counting them, 15 guns hanging on the wall. But this gun, and any gun that ever shoots clear, has clear. It never has anything other than clear. And there's a very, very simple reason for that. If you put 1 speck of some other color in here, it'll always come out right on top of the gas tank, right where now you got to retouch it up and sand it. And having a dedicated clear gun, the guns are under $15. It goes without saying, cheap insurance. Another really useful tip, when you're painting silver, blue, metallic, any metallic color really, I always like to put at least 2 and maybe 3 coats of clear on before I ever touch it with sandpaper, because metallic colors will be much more difficult to touch up if you sand through. And the cost, the extra $10 of paint you put on, it won't mean anything if you got to retouch up the whole part. So as I've mentioned many times before, it's penny wise and pound foolish to try to minimize the amount of paint you put on. Now, another thing that's not a great idea, and if people find this out the hard way, I did, is to put it all on in one day. I don't like to take apart and put more than 3 coats of clear on in one day, because the paint builds up and it doesn't really cure out the way it should. So the goal today will be to get 2 20 minutes to a half hour apart. Let's see how the temperature plays out. It's about 50 degrees out there now. And then decide at the very end if we're going to get the 3rd coat on or not. Now, Another thing, I was going to put the stickers under the clear. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to wait till the last coat of clear so that those stickers have something flat to sit on. The silver has all little particles of pigment in it, those little sparkly things. And I'm afraid if I put the sticker down, it's not going to seal around the edge until I get clear on. So the goal will be get some clear on, and then we'll see. I'll see if I want to put just put an extra coat of clear over everything once the stickers are on. But for right now, to get 2 coats of clear and maybe 3 on the rest of the day. Now, I'm not sure if you can see the difference between this is the clear coated part, first coat of clear. What a difference. It changes the color. It changes the way the metallic reflects the light. This almost looks more gray now. This is a much deeper color. And I wanted to show this, if I can, like a before and after, because this is exactly what you deal with any metallic. You can change the color. If you were to put no clear on this, and I'm sure some people would prefer that flat look. Not me. I like that look. Anyway, we're going to do the other one. And then notice that I always leave the biggest part till last, because if I do have a problem with the paint for whatever reason, or if there's something in the gun that's going to spit out, let it spit out on one of the small parts. Just in mentioning something worth mentioning, it's better to put on several thin coats than to try to do it all in one time. The more you can put more thin coats on, the flatter it's going to lay, and when it comes time to put the next coat on, that base coat will be flat as can be. And that, by the way, is a really good tip. Now I have an old camera tripod. I tried to use it thinking I could get the bottom of the tank, and it just didn't work out the way I thought it would. So I've got to resort to using my my improvised garbage can here. But anyway, my air conditioner cover will be a nice color silver for next winter. But here's the whole thing in a nutshell now. I'm putting this paint on like it's from an airbrush. Nice thin coats. And I'll definitely get 3 coats on here today. Nice thin coats. With that dry time in between coats means there'll be almost no chance there's any runs. Now you might really see how thin those coats are going on. They're almost going on like it's an airbrush, but you can see there's no chance. That way you get the problem with any metallic and silver and gold. If you soften up the metallic and get a run, it's got to be touched up, because you move some of the flakes around and it looks, well, I don't like the way it looks anyway. And anytime I did like the gold wheels or the silver wheels or even those metallic green wheels, a lot of thin coats is always better than one big coat. That's an important lesson and a wonderful good tip to learn. Okay, now that's the first coat. I've got to basically do this 3 times today, and we're making use of a good day here. Now it's not sunny out, so you can't see. The wisteria is really starting to come into full bloom. It's time for a coffee break. This gets to be very labor intensive as the day goes by. Now you can start to see the depth of the color, start to see the sparkles really jumping out. It's really going to be a beautiful color silver. Well, the weather has really basically held out in our favor today. You can see it's pretty windy out though. That wind is really howling, but I think you can see if you look that the gloss on these parts and the fact that we've got all the paint on in a lot of thin coats really is working in our favor here. This is really going to be a beautiful color silver when it's done. And I likened it to the silver that's on the R1 wheels. I don't think it's that much different. It actually is a beautiful color. Okay, last coat going on the tank now, and you can see the gloss is already starting to develop. After the first coat, second coat, every time you put another coat on, it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. That's going to be some, when this is in the sun, now we don't have any sunlight today, but if we had sunlight, that would be spectacular. That'd be just like the R1 wheels. Now I wish we had a better macro lens camera that you could see the way that shines, and of course it's not a sunny day today, but it turned out to be a great day for painting. We got all the paint on, we have 3 full coats, and that's got to sit at least 2 or 3 days now before I even move it or touch it, or I'll let it sit in the garage. Now the reason for letting it sit in the garage, even though it's not really winter here, but it goes down to about 40 at night, but by letting the paint cure out slow, it'll have a lot nicer of a gloss. And for the way this is glossed out, I don't know if Pokey's going to buff it out, but that's up to him. That is one hell of a nice paint job. So the way this day played out, we got all our clear on, and probably you know, the way this is glossed out, I think Pokey's going to just be as happy as can be. Now, I thought of something that I could do at the end of this video after I edit it, and of course we're about 4 days behind. So by the time you see this, it's already, I think we're 3 days behind, I'm not sure. But anyway, I do remember the day Chris and I went to see the Blue Angels where she works, and we got a ringside, we had a better seat than the people that paid to go see them. We were closer. They were flying right over FedEx, her building where she works, and then at the end of the day it rained and we had to drive home in the rain. So what can I say? But it was a wonderful day, a wonderful memory for Chris too. She was very excited about seeing them. Now, and I'll look on a channel and see if I have any pictures of it, but you could search my channel and just type in Blue Angels and watch the whole video if you're bored to tears or whatever. But this was the primary job today. We have mission accomplished, and I never want to end the video. If I do, it's because I'm too old and I forget. But thanking our healthcare workers, healthcare heroes. They have done a job that, and we have several of them living right on our block here, so I know about it. We have 9/11 heroes and nursing heroes that go to work every day and pass that sign on my front porch. So anyway, I hope you did enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the Blue Angels. So that was quite a day. So what I tried to do, and it didn't work out, I tried to capture some of this. This is some of the footage from the video. You have to, that's how close we were. We were at the FedEx building. And it was really, this was really, you can see how close. We're closer than the people that paid. Now, you go to my channel and you just search out the word Blue Angels, and up comes this video. And here they are. Wow, now it doesn't do much good for me to take pictures of this, but I thought it'd be something to be entertaining. So here's Chris, and as we enter FedEx, and she had to really pull some strings and some bells and whistles. We were at Stewart. The FedEx thing is right by Stewart now. I took some pictures of the screen, and I'm hoping this is entertaining and that it comes out okay. But as you can tell, we don't have every choice in the world. But anyway, it was absolutely spectacular to see these from the FedEx site. The FedEx site is at 50% closer than the closest person at the air show could be. And when they did their turnarounds and different maneuvers, they went right over the building. It was unbelievable how close they were. And the sound is something, if you hear once in your lifetime, you'll never forget. It is really impressive. Now, I'm sorry I missed them the other day. Even though my daughter gave me a heads up, I forgot about it and everything. But anyway, if you ever get a chance to see the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels, spectacular. I saw the Thunderbirds in Arizona when I was at VSC, a model airplane tournament, but I never saw the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds at the same time. That must have been really, really spectacular. Anyway, thank you to the people that gave me a heads up, and most of all, thank you to Chris. That was a very memorable day. You search my channel, there's only one Blue Angels video, and Chris, I'm sure, has good memories too. So anyway, for what it's worth, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm sorry that I did miss them going right over my house. That one's on me, and I hope you enjoyed the video.